Hello everyone, it's Mel from Everything Marmy. I'm back, and as promised, this is just me testing watercolors from Grabie. These were inspired by I don't know what's happening. There's some sound. What is going on? Like, my watch is making noise and I put it on silent, so I don't understand. But, okay, so Vedja over at Tuxedo Plans inspired me to get these. I feel like painting, so that's all it is. I'm just going to swatch them. It may not be for you, but it might be just the video for you. It might be the video that is in the background as you do your dishes. Could be your body double. I know all about that. So, and I've been like, oh my God, like just trying to stay awake, you guys. I think there's some solar phenomenon happening at the moment. Almost everybody I'm talking to is having the same problem of extreme fatigue. If you're not, bless you. So I am going to show you what I've done so far, because I've been going like crazy to fill up this book. And so I'll do a quick flip to where I am now. And then I'm going to haul out the Grabie sets. I've marked each of the pages where I'm going to paint. I'm going to use the blotting paper in between, but I also have the dryer. Okay, so the paints won't look the same with the dryer as without. There's a slight difference, okay guys, but I will pause it so you won't have to listen to it. And yeah, hopefully it's a relaxing video, not a rushed video, just a chill video. I wish I could play some music in the back. So let me just do a flip and show you where I'm at. So this is the October 2025 A5 Stalogy monthly book inspired by Monique. Monique Plans. No, Monique Writes. I'm so sorry, Monique, honey. She'll be in my description box below. If you want to know her system and setup, you can go into her account. She's got a playlist, and there's 5 videos, I believe. Okay, so, and just a word up front, I'm not a dark goth kind of planner for my books. In fact, I'm not a planner at all anyway, apart from the brain dump. I'm really just like, I'm a to done list kind of person, like get up and get it done and then write it down, not a to do. If I have to think about it, I really won't do it, okay? So, these are all from a shop in the UK, the Rosy Life Planner. I put a pocket here and various tags. This has a little calligraphy pen ink tip on it. I put this here so I could, you know, if I wanted to attach it. A little mushroom tab. This here is where this stamp came off of, or patch. I always call them stamps, you guys. I get my words mixed up all the time. And this is on the cover of the Chic Sparrow book, which is right here under the magnet here, you see. So I call it Kiss, keep it simple, stupid or silly or however. Okay. So this is the flip through. There's only 5 days today and 4 days left in this book anyway. I keep changing it, so there's slight differences. We are here. So the end of the month is, of course, Friday, and then this book goes to the 2nd. I started it on September 29th, so it's 5 weeks. All my weeks are at the bottom here. All the tabs that I use are to the side. That doesn't mean that I'm using them up properly. I wanted to tape that donut down because it's like definitely wanting to come up. So it's a variety of stickers, pencil crowns as we call them in Canada, old stock, new stock. I still have some spaces to fill in. Louise Hay's affirmations, magazines. There is some white space. I'm not going to fret about that right at the moment. I've left like flip-ups. And this here is the trackers. Back when I started this book, I did not track anything. I just wrote it in. It was, I don't know, I wasn't on the ball. So, as you can see, I've just squared these off so I can paint. Now, there's 12 in each of these boxes. There are 12 colors, okay? So I've marked more than 12, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, okay? But say I don't want to use that one or that one, so I have variety. So, but I do know where I want to put like each color test. I love my raccoons and wild animals. Even on the dailies, instead of catching up, because I've been kind of going through this silent phase where I almost don't feel like writing the same appointments down every day, the same things. It seems to be like my life is on repeat. So instead, I'm just using pictures to do my dailies. I collaged a bunch of pictures there. Anything that grabbed my fancy, essentially, is what I did here. I did multiple flip-ups. I love interactive books. This one here, I don't know if I'm going to put another something here or not. I'm not really happy with the color of that. So I might just, let's see, do I have anything in there? No, but I do have, let's see what I have in here. They're not big enough. But sometimes, like, if I don't like something, I could just come along with a sticky and just put it like that, right? Like if it's too busy or if I don't want to use it. These were a Daiso purchase. And then this one too, I put a kind of collage together. So they don't all have the same, and this is more me. The way it was set up before, it was all like goth and dark, and it just wasn't working. As beautiful as these papers are, So now we're into week 2. As you can see, these are my morning pages, which doesn't mean anything. It just means how I feel whenever I sit down at the table to write. These are my gratitudes, or like motivational quotes. I've been using the Louise Hayes. This one here is personal goals, and then when I talk to my kids, these are my priorities. Again, I didn't put anything over that. These are my brain dump. You can see how empty some of these weeks are, like absolutely empty. But again, from magazines, this is my style, you guys. And then that's where I'm going to put some paint, just swatches, same here. These books are a work in progress. This is week 3. Same thing. Here's the daily. Oh, no, sorry, this was the dailies, not week 3. And these are blank. So there's many things I can do. I tend to turn my books into sticker books or picture books or things that appeal to me. They don't necessarily need to be like journaling or words or what I did necessarily. I can pretty much look at any day of the week and for the most part know what I've done. So again, you're going to see the same repetition because it's the same. It's morning pages, which is down here, morning. Then this is daily gratitude. This is personal goals and priorities, brain dump. Then I have trackers. There's a blank spot there. Love houses. That's why I put them in. This is my weekly. These are my chores. That's a pretty accurate description. Not been doing chores. So if you're like feeling bad because you haven't been getting to your chores, guys, welcome to my club. I just put some offcuts here. This is the food log. It's supposed to be a food and health log. Here's another like swatch page I'm gonna do. I love that. This is me. This is the style. These, of course, are of like 3 different pictures, but I just love collaging pages like this. And it's very relaxing to cut, paste, whatever. I found this paper to go along with Embracing the Blues, and I wrote how I've been feeling lately. Here's the dailies. They are blank as well, because this whole month, I have not had much to say about it. And actually, you know, I've been talking to people and not to my books. So, I don't know, I got stuck. But as you can see, like, I make little books within books. You guys see? So, that was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and here we are, week 4. I'm finally like on the ball, except I took this Yumi Kitagishi like washi and I like slathered it all over the place. But again, that's very typical of what I do. Again, the same setup every week. I love this picture because she looks like a mad woman, and that's how I feel. My tracker got to Thursday, and then I just said, forget it. Mind you, what are we at? Yeah, that was last week, so we're on the 5th week right now, so yeah. I just taped this on and made a belly band. These, oh, I was so mad. I had a beautiful purple one, and I used the tape runner on it and ripped it to crap. So, yeah. So I put a piece of plastic from the sticker backing and just taped it. And then these are art pages. Tip this in. These are the dailies. I don't like them, but that's fine. Can always fix them. Like, I can literally paper them up or come along again with some white paper and say, you know what, I don't like it, so we're doing that. Same with over here. If I can like pull this off without ripping it off. Like, I don't expect things to be perfect, but yet at the same time, it's okay if I don't like my own stuff. And of course, it happens. So I can make a note here saying, yep, didn't like that. So we covered it up. And I'll come back to this a year from now and say, okay, you know, what was so wrong with that? You know, I was learning, or I came a long way from that. So here's more daily pages. I really didn't have a lot to say, like I said. You know, there's some days some months I do that. And of course, look at me going with this washi tape. And then some stickers for Halloween here. I have no idea. This is a lot of paper. Normally I go with the B6. This is the A5. And here we are, the week 5. Wednesday is today. Yeah. So this is how many I've got left. I did all of these in advance. This is on the go. These are quite bright compared to the rest of the book. My tracker. Weekly. Food and health log. And then here's another one for art. And I did not do the lines, so I'll quickly do it now. So I'm not, like, I don't count, I don't do anything like that. I just simply pencil it in. Because I'm just swatching, you guys. Now, being that they're Grabie Paints, I can tell you right now, they're not going to be like Daniel Smith. They're probably student grade paints. That's fine with me. Doesn't matter. And then the dailies come here. Oh, I got 2 pages. So I have a lot of like art pages in between. And then I have legitimately tried to be doing dailies again. So there was yesterday, and that's today. Been relying heavily on stickers. There's Friday, which is Halloween. And then in the back here is where I'm supposed to be journaling. I say supposed to be, but I haven't been. So now let's get to the main attraction, which is testing out these paints. So I know you guys have seen this book from like beginning to end, and I'm going to start exactly as the box does. So essential colors, then autumn colors, forest colors, flora colors, and landscape. I'm going to do it that way. And that way I know how they go in there. So I want to do the essential. Now what I did was I had to really scrub this out, you guys. This is one of my water containers, and what I like about it is that it helps to clean the paintbrush. You see? And I use warm water. I find that's a trick with paints. Might as well leave that off, except I don't want to spill it. Yeah, and I'm using a number 8 round from Opus. It's a Galliano synthetic brush. Okay. Let's get change of screen. So what did we say? Essential. Where's the essential? There we are. So essential will go there, which is good. That kind of matches there. Let's see how they line up, because I never really did check. Autumn, forest, floral, and landscape. Okay, so I'm going to put those ones back there. I could swatch them at the same time, but for the sake of this video, and I tend to be a yapper, it's already 20 minutes. We'll see how much time we have. I'm not going to, well, unless I have to, I'd rather not spray them because I want to see their potency all on their own. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these blotting papers, unless I have, oh God, no, don't throw your paintbrush into the garbage can. I'm just checking to see. Normally I'd use, I wonder, just bear with me half a second, you guys. Okay. So maybe I'll do, I do have like parchment paper. So I'll just slide it on the back so I don't get this wet. Okay. And I'm going to pull that baby off, so I don't have to like ruin perfectly good blotting paper if I don't have to. Let's see how these paints, like, see what you guys are seeing. I'm going to roll up my sleeves because knowing me. And I did bring over some markers if I have to mark the colors, but the colors are really right there. So let's see. I'll just wet this paintbrush. And I have like recycled like paper towel. I always recycle it. And let's begin. I'm not very good at circles, but I'm going to try. There's a lady I watch. Her name is Helen Cryer. And she is so relaxing to watch do this. Now you can see that there's a hump in this book already. Actually, these re-wet really well. So here in Canada, 5 of them were $66. So that's not bad for paints. Okay. I don't want to like go too much with paints. You can see they're pooling a bit. Let's try, and that was sap green. This is rose madder. Like, to me, these are quite, this is the essential kit. So like, I see Christmas all over these ones. So what I'm doing is just dragging my brush. I don't make circles very well, you guys. But I do like making swatches and I like circles over squares. So you can see they're pooling quite a bit because this is really like, it's a stalogy, right? It's not an art book. So this is cadmium red. Looks more like a deep orange, but like with this set, I think you'd be pretty much good for a long time. Except I have, like most things, a lot. So the next one is cadmium yellow. By the way, if I forgot to say this, please grab yourself, you know, whatever it is, you have something cozy to drink. In fact, the second I say that, I notice I don't have anything to drink. But there's the yellow, cadmium yellow. So I hope you've got some sort of book or something and something warm to drink, and we're just here playing. It's Wednesday, but for me, I never know what freaking day it is. And my doctor called in sick today, so, well, text in. So, which is fine with me. Well, it's not fine that she's not well, obviously. But, like, I'm perfectly okay not to leave my house some days. And my daughter's getting her ceiling fixed. I told her I'd call her when I was ready for her to come over. But, like, again, I want to procrastinate because I don't feel like doing anything. I'm exhausted. So that color was lemon yellow. This now is turquoise. I have to make this. See, that does not look like a turquoise to me. So this definitely, by looking at these colors, I can tell you that they're not true pigments. And by true, I mean like these are cheaper pigments. They've been mixed with a bunch of different like I don't know what they call them, like they're not byproducts, but they're like they're not great. Like they're not like Daniel Smith, okay? Like that's all I can say. However, like for your basic everyday painting or like background painting or for the level I'm at, I mean, I'm not an artist, you know, I'm just somebody who just likes to swatch. So the next one is Cobalt Blue Deep. And these are portable, you know, like you've got a little, basically an Altoids box. And you just bring your own brush and poof, like you're good to go. I really think watercolors, well, people will argue, like, depending on their style. I like watercolors, but, like, oils aren't just portable. They last forever. Like, you paint an oil painting and it'll last, right? But I'm trying to think of the other paints. And I know it's on the tip of my tongue, so it'll come to me. And it's not. So we'll just write that off as another moment and let it be. So this one here, this Cobalt Blue Deep, I'm just pushing the paint around a little bit. And then the next one is Royal Purple. So they don't need to be sprayed, which is nice. So you don't have to wake up the pigments. So technically speaking, honey-based ones definitely need to be like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, okay, you guys, because I'm not like this all knowledgeable watercolor guru. But I know with the ones that I have, anything with honey in it, I have to wake them up. There's certain like more higher end paints that you have to wake the pigments up. I don't know why that is, but there has to be a good reason. I just never really looked into it. Okay, so that was Royal Purple. Now we're moving on to Burnt Sienna, one of my favorite colors. Let's see how this one passes the test. I'm just going to put it down here. Now that to me does not look like burnt sienna. It says, I can tell from this set, it's you know, it's a student set. I mean, I could definitely, if I was a better artist, I could probably mix it down. But then again, if I was a better artist, I wouldn't have bought these to begin with, right? So that was burnt sienna. This is burnt umber. This next one coming up. And I don't know why they put white in a palette, honestly, but they have, so being that the paper's white, I won't be swatching it. So this is burnt umber. And again, it just looks like dark brown. However, like I said, for your basic set, for the price it's at, Grabie's doing a really good job, you know. The packaging alone, you guys, like, and the manpower, and, you know, like, the last color is a neutral tint, which is interesting. I've never had something called a neutral tint before, so we're gonna, so this looks like a blue-gray. I like it, actually. It looks like a moon color. And I would know. I'm up a lot at night. So I've got a few spots that I don't want to leave. So I'm going to put this neutral color up here. Fill it up a little bit more in light of the fact that, you know, it's, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't finish my sentence again. In light of the fact that this is like a October book. And then I have two spots there, so I'm gonna, I think, use the Cobalt Blue Deep, because this book basically has been like blue and black, or blue and like gray. Of course, if I mix this with the purple, if I mix this with, like, there's, I'm sure just with these colors here, if you mix them, With the other colors, you could come up with like quite a few colors. Okay. I didn't know that I'd be able to paint over the tape there. So I'm going to pause it. I'm going to dry it, get my water. I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, so they're fairly dry, I believe. They look to be dry. So that's what they were. I've put the color essential kit. I'll come back, I'll label them all, and I'll do those another time. But I just wanted to show you that was the Grabie essential kit, if that was the kit color you wanted. Okay, now, and I used the Faber-Castell Pit Artist Pen fine liner in dark sepia 175 to write that in. And now I'm going to go to the next. And by the way, if you look on the back here, it didn't soak through. And I love like the sound of it. So we're going to move on to the next art page, which, why is that there? I don't know why that one is here. Hopefully I have enough. I'm sure I do. Okay, so here we go, and the next one is Autumn Colors here, which is this one. So let's begin. Take this off. And I like using like washi and stuff like that, but you don't have to. Like, none of this is essential, you guys, okay? So the one thing that we do know about this is that they don't have to be sprayed first, which is nice. Now, do I want to do squares or circles? I think I want to do squares on this one. Which means I'm going to have to carefully place the paint in such a way where I'm like skipping every second one. So that was berry. Now I'm going to do citrine. And if you've never painted with watercolors before, be sure to test them on each page, because each paper like has different absorptions. And not only that, like you don't know how the paint's going to react, right? So most people you'll see like at the bottom of their artwork, they'll do like dots just to get an idea. So we're going to come back and do cinnamon brown and Maya blue, and we're going to skip ginger and go right to pecan. And again, the pigments in their brown colors I'm not keen on. However, again, I keep saying this. Grabie is not like, let's put it this way, for $66, like, you would maybe get 3 5-milliliter tubes of Daniel Smith paint. So, yeah. So we're going to move past pine into burgundy. I think I like the squares better. Let me know. Do you like the circles or the squares better? That's burgundy. It looks like a Merlot, doesn't it? Okay, and we're going to skip past dark moss green and go in. Oh, no, we're going to go into dark moss green. Good. Dark moss green. I don't want to go into black right away. Well, that's kind of nice. It's like an olive. Dark moss green. I'd be curious to see how this matches up with the other page. Because as you remember, we randomly did this. Now, I'm a personal believer in coincidence doesn't exist. Either it does or it doesn't. Like, I don't believe you can have it both. So, like, by saying that, it doesn't really mean a whole lot. So that is dark moss green. And now we're going to go into wood, which is this one here. I like the names of them. So basically another like brown. I don't think I've come across a paint color named wood. You'd think it would be obvious, but apparently not. Now I'm deliberately painting this to have, do you see these lines? I can do it without, but I like them there. So everybody has a distinct painting style. So you see how I'm depositing paint for texture. Okay, so that's why it's doing that. So now I'm going to go back up. Actually, I'm going to do down here too. So, do we have orange? We have ginger. Which we never tried out yet, did we? No. So let's put ginger here because we haven't tried ginger yet. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, there's your pumpkin color, you guys. And then probably black would be here, I'm thinking. Which is right here. Because where would black be beside wood there? So yeah, as long as they're not touching. So I'm curious to see what undertone this black has to it. Looks like a really dark brown, like that one there. Added too much water here. But this Stalogy paper holds a lot. You should have seen it when I was painting before in the Stalogy and the B6, and my goodness. So I'm going to go back up to the top and I'm going to do the cinnamon brown. Yeah, I do think I prefer like painting in the entire square, because then if I wanted to do something over top, I could. So that's cinnamon brown. Now I'm going to do Maya blue. which you wouldn't expect. And yet, as I'm looking at that, I see there is a blue. So there you go, Maya blue. And now we're going to go back to that ginger that we so love, or at least I so love. Let's get some water in there. Okay, and now we're going to do pine. That's a nice green, actually. But it doesn't seem to want to wet. So the pigment really has to be like scrubbed up. And that happens sometimes. Okay. And then the next color is the black indigo. So we're going to do, is that right? Black here. I'm trying not to have the colors run into each other, but they can become neighborly if they want. And then indigo. It's a nice blue. Okay, and so what other colors do we want to pull down? We've got that orange ginger here. I'm almost tempted to put another layer on that, but I won't. Yes, I will. Why? Because I can do it. I want to see how dark I can get it. Okay, so let's bring down the cinnamon brown. What's neat is that this is what I mean about books for me. Like, they're not just planners, guys. They're everything. I just dump everything in them. And this is my sweet spot with them. So now I want to put in another color that I wouldn't expect to be on the bottom. And I'm thinking this one up here, but darker. I'm actually thinking it's so tempting to mix the blues at this point, but I'm just going to actually scrub in the pigment, make it really dark down here, if I can, without it marrying the orange or ginger or black. But there we go. So I'm just going to dry it and I'll be right back, you guys. Okay, so let's take a look. Obviously we captured a lot of the same colors from this autumn kit. I marked it here. I've learned from experience to mark down. Usually I'll put the date too. When I come back, after I turn off the camera, I'll do that. But yeah, and then on here now I can do whatever. I'm going to put these stickies back on because it occurred to me you probably want to see them. If I can remember now where the first one is, and see, that's exactly why I wanted to leave them on. There we go. So that you guys can see. Okay, I prefer the square, but I mean, I'm curious to what you think. So now we're going to do forest. And I swear to you, I didn't plan it this way because Grabie had them this way. Okay. Now, this video might run a little late, you guys, but hey, you know what? Oh, I didn't put that art thing back on there, but that's fine. I will. So we're going to start with the magical color gray. And again, we're working with the forest palette. And obviously, I did more than 12. It was just easier for me to do that. I could have done like bigger boxes, but I tried different setups in them. So the next one I'm going to do is moss, because I don't really want to marry the color. Oh, that's lovely. Didn't expect that color. Huh? Right in the middle of my sentence. Oh, look at, oh, pretty. Okay. And we're going to skip pine, and we're going to go, we're going to skip tropical forest and go to sky. Here it is. Hello, sky. This blue isn't impressing me much to be, because I've never really seen the sky this color. Not in my 53 years have I ever seen the sky this color. Not even as a kid with perfect eyesight. We're going to skip navy, ocean, and we're going to go to, oh, we have to go to ocean, which is right here. Please be a nice blue. Please be a nice blue. Oh, it is, but I wouldn't call that ocean either. I'm not sure what I would call that. That's more of a sky color than an ocean color, but you know, I guess it could be. Okay. So now we're going to skip dark orange and go to copper. Is that a copper? Looks like a burnt, like an ochre. I can definitely see the pigments of it. And, okay, copper, dark brown, and we're going to go to brick. Oops. That kind of looks like, on the surface, my nails, but no, see, this looks like a Chardonnay or something, like Kool-Aid. Doesn't even, like, quite match my nails. However, like I said, and I continue to say, these paints are not like professional paints. They're student grade at best. Okay, so what are we going to do at the bottom here? I think I want to put in, oh my God. Well, I'm going to try the other colors first this time because I don't know. Let's try pickle. Let's see what pickle is. I don't know. I'm calling it. I'm not sure. Does that look pickle to you guys? I don't know. Like, really? I don't know. My girls growing up used to fight over the last flippin' pickle. I'd hear screams. These kind of look alike, you guys. Like, I'd have to really... Did I mess up? I don't know. Let's see here. Maybe not. I don't know. Okay, let's go on to... So we've got gray, pickle, moss, pine. gray, pickle, moss. Now we're going to do pine. This hopefully is dark. Come on, you. Be dark. No, it's watery. The pigment's not the greatest. Now, you know, I can mix these with better paints as well, if I wanted to. But to use them for what they are, which is to mark your paper, to make that lovely crinkly sound, these are fine. Okay, so that was pine. We missed one here. I missed a square. Pickle, moss, pine. Okay, so tropical rainforest. We have to put that down here, which is here. Tropical rainforest, right? Okay. Like greens are hard to get the pigments right, so are blue. They just are. Okay, so we have sky. This is navy. This particular set, out of all of them so far, like they just feel a little bit more chalky to me. But that's just me. You know, please don't take my word on anything. And then we have ocean and then dark orange. Where was ocean? Ocean, dark. This is dark orange right here. Okay. Let's these two colors are looking a lot alike. I don't know, this palette to me, you guys, I'm not sure which one it is. I'll have to check. But yeah, this one is not my fave yet out of all of them so far. But that doesn't mean it can't be. Like, obviously, which one am I working with? The forest colors? There's subtle differences. Maybe that's why. Okay, so this one would be dark brown. Okay, so this is dark brown. So out of all of these colors, we get really one brown. Oops. That's okay. Just come along with some water and remove it. You see what I did? I put the brick into the dark brown, but that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to put some more brown down here. I'm going to put some gray, I think, here. Because gray and pink would make, like gray and this brick would make a nice pink. So, like, I'm looking at the colors here on this side. I'm cheating, like, because I didn't know. But do you see? Like, I could, yeah. So, and then this color here, if that's orange and that's ochre, I want to try to make that orange like orange, but it's not going to be that way. So I'm going to make it navy. That's what I'm going to do. Navy and brick here will make a nice purple. So like I'm looking at the colors and I know that I can make them into these colors. And like, it's very amazing to me that this set, which is forced, can actually do that. So I'm going to again pause, dry, mark, and carry on. What are we doing for time, guys? Okay. Okay, so that's what we're left with in the end. Okay, I did dab them with all transparency. I did like do a little dab of the extra paint where it started to pool up, which helps the drying process a little easier. We have 2 more palettes to go, so let's go on to the next one. Right here. And this one I'm going to do is the floral. Pretty. The tin is pretty. Okay. And again, I think I'm going to stick with the squares. 3, 6, 9, 12. I have exactly 12 in this one, you guys. So the first color is cobalt. There's in frame. Oh, good. Oh, wow. That really popped. Yeah, I don't know how Helen does the circles. I find them difficult. A lot of people do like teardrops or circles and stuff like that, but I find them difficult. Okay, the next color we're going to move over to is deep pink. It looks kind of purpley to me. However, like I said before, oh wait, it's really hard to get pink right anyway. Like there's a whole science behind watercolor. And trust me, when you go down that road, oh my God, it's like calligraphy, inks and pens and stuff. Okay, let's move on. We're going to skip cantaloupe and we're going to go to moss. Right here. I do like this color, but this to me is more of a pickle color. Is that a moss color? Moss to me is darker. I feel like I'm being overly critical. I'm just giving you my first reaction, but of course I live, like it depends, I guess, like where you're seeing this moss. I live like pretty much in like a rainforest, so our moss is dark. The next color, I'm going to skip rifle green and move on to teal. Wow. Okay, wake up. Wake up. This form of like just swatching, I know some of you think, oh, I love to do it, but like I don't want to bore people. Don't do it for people, you guys. Do it for you. If you want to swatch something, swatch it. Trust me when I say this. People want to watch it. Pardon me. It's very relaxing for people to watch, and you're second guessing yourself. If you want to color, there's coloring pages where people go to color and they go watch. So we're going to skip tawny. We did teal, right? Yeah, we're going to skip tawny and we're going to go to dark red. So don't think about how long your videos are going to be. Don't think about other people. Do your videos for you. Oh, this is pretty. That's pretty, pretty, pretty. Oops. Let's get you off there, can I? No, I can't because I put... But it's good to know that the paint goes right over the sticky tab, right? And like I said, if you add a bit of water, you can like change like how it looks on paper. Okay, and then we skip past, that was the dark red. We'll skip tulip pink and go into bright yellow. I think I still have some red on there. I bet you my daughter's like, what is Mum doing? She said she'd phone. It's called procrastination. I want the help, but I don't want to do it. It's like I've reverted to my childhood self. I don't know. This yellow, I'm just going to try to dab it down a little thick. It doesn't really want to absorb onto the paper, but okay, we're going to go back up. We're going to do dark violet next. And just by like giving it a chance, it just dries it a little bit. That's all. In case you're wondering why I'm doing it this way. I'm sure you're not, but in case you are, you'd be surprised at some of the questions I get, and there's nothing wrong with questions, you guys. I highly encourage question everything. If you don't know, ask. If I don't know, well, sometimes though, you know, the answer is in the video. I can pretty much tell if you've watched the video if you're asking me questions that, you know, I've answered. Okay, so that was dark violet. We are now going to go to cantaloupe. That's a nice name. Which looks beige. My water's getting dirty too. And I still have one more palette to go. But I find this fun and relaxing. And I hope you guys like backed this up and grabbed your coffee. And like, oh, look at that. The green and the cantaloupe are deciding to be friendly. Okay, you go ahead and do that. The next color we're going to do is rifle green. Okay. It's different. Okay. It's different. We've done teal, now we're doing tawny. I don't know what a tawny is, but we're gonna see. Looks like a teal. We did teal. Oh, see, I almost did it again. Okay, yeah, this water is dirty. There we go. That's tawny. Well, hello, Tawny. Welcome to the page of, like, watercolor scribbles. Okay, and We did dark red. Let's do tulip pink. Can barely see this one. Okay. That teal wanted to move on down right quick. That's fine. And then our last one is Tangelo, which obviously looks red. Like an orangey red. Yeah. Like a fruit orange or a mango. No, like a tangerine or something. Maybe that's the Tangelo. Ah, Mel, you're catching it. Okay. Okay, so again, I'm going to pause you guys. Do the same. Be right back. Okay, you guys, so if you look down here at the pink, which is tulip pink, I really hooped that one up. Grabie floral colors. And it's okay. Like, I'm not the best swatcher. So, and then I tried to dab off some of the excess that was running toward the center. So I don't think I gave this floral one a great swatch. However, no worries. I'm not going to sweat over it. Okay. And my last one, you guys, is the landscape, which is way back here. And I'm going to phone my daughter and explain. So 3, 6, 9, 12. So here we go. Now I'm going to have to pin this down because you can see obviously that there's a big bulk in it, but you can see how easy it would be just to add paint. Acrylic or watercolor or whatever you have, or even pencil crayons. This one is landscape. My water is dirty. I should have did something with it, but whatever. And we begin. Let's get this guy off of here. I love how it's like they come with watercolor, like swatch cards. So the first color we're going to do is greenish yellow. And the next one, we're going to skip over marigold and go into ginger. We've had a lot of helicopters over lately. This is a beautiful color. I like this one. And then we're going to skip wood and go into candy pink. Wood candy pink. Actually, I'm quite impressed by this palette. Do you hear the helicopters? I don't know why, like, they've been going solid for a couple of days now. Like, I feel like I'm in the hub of some sort of like, you know, like airport or something. So we're going to skip over Rubine Red and go into Pickle. And this was a landscape one, eh? So I'm just trying to like put some dots here, like granulation, non-granulating, but you can fake it. And then emerald would be next, but we're going to go into teal. That won't come up either. Okay, so that's the closest teal out of all of Grabie's teals, I think, so far. Not sure why they're different, but they are. Which, you know, goes to show they're doing like different batch lots for different paints. Okay. And then we're going to go skip the dark turquoise and go into the blue sapphire. Yeah, this is a nice palette, considering what it is. I mean, if you watch how I'm painting now, there was, okay, so prior to 2021, I used to paint a lot, you guys, okay? And then I had a series of epileptic seizures. And literally, like, my brain, there's so much, like, I had to learn the basic guitar chords again. I mean, we're talking, I played my guitar my whole life. Seizures do something to your brain, and I had them 5 weeks straight. So I don't even know how to swatch anymore, you guys. But it doesn't stop me. So don't let it stop you. Don't let having fun stop you just because you're worried that somebody else might say, oh, it's a boring video. They can always, like, shut off. And obviously I'm talking to the people that remain behind because, you know, here we're going into Marigold now, you guys. Because everybody who didn't want to watch this video already left. And I know from my past art videos that I'm only going to get, I don't know, like just over 150 views, maybe 180 views. If that on this, I don't know. But I don't go by that, you know? Like I don't look at one of my videos as more successful because it got 1,000 views. Vice, you know? It's curiosity. People are curious creatures. And, you know, everybody starts off somewhere. So let's work this out here. Greenish yellow, marigold, ginger, wood. This is wood? Okay, let's see what wood is. So we've already had wood. I wonder if it's the same wood. Yeah, it is. At least as far as I can tell. That's why I encourage, you know what, you guys, do things for you. Don't try to be like everybody else. Be unique. Do things for yourself. Then it won't, you won't care. You won't care if people like it because you're pleasing yourself. Like I think I spent far too much of my life trying to please other people. In fact, I know I did. And it doesn't work. So, okay, so wood, candy pink, rubine red. Let's see what this pretty one is. Rubine red. I think we had this one before too, did we not? I think so because we were comparing it with my nail polish. Oh my God, I went right into the ginger. Do you see how I'm holding? Because my fingertips are numb, you guys. Like, so, like, I'm glad this is sort of the last one because I don't want to drop the paintbrush. But anyway. And then we go pickle emerald. So here's emerald. This has been fun. I enjoy this. Oh, I like this emerald. It reminds me of like the primary green, but I like it. And then we did teal, and now we're going to do dark turquoise, which is sort of like, did I grab the right one? Yeah, I guess I did. And then the very last one, we did blue sapphire, and now we're on to purple. Let me know if you do enjoy swatching videos, you guys, because, well, I'm always doing something like this in the middle of the night. So if you want me to throw up a video for you guys to, you know, I might just not, like, talk. And if I don't talk, you can play music in the back and just look up and somebody, I don't know. Like, I've never done a video yet where I didn't not talk. So this one is Grabie Landscape Colors. And I'm just going to pause you for a minute while I dry it, and then we'll wrap this baby up. Okay, so I'm back. Alrighty, let's take a look at what we've done here. All right, so I'm just gonna stack and rack, you guys, what we did. Put the cover on this before I knock it over. This paint water is like really dirty. Sorry about the loud noise, but that's, you know, these clampers. Clap on, clap off. Okay, I'm sorry, couldn't help it. And again, this was a size 8 Opus brush, the Galliano synthetic. Okay, so let's take a look, shall we? Let's get these guys moved over. We'll put them back in the box. Why not? Actually, you know what? I don't want to do that yet because I want to show you. Okay, so there were the circles. All right, that's the only one we did the circles with, and I did more than 12, so we did extra blues and stuff like that. Okay, and that was the Essential palette. Okay, then we did, I love this palette, the Autumn watercolor palette, this one. Love it. Matches the picture, matches the tape. Great. And squares. Okay, so the third palette we did was the floral in the pink box. I'm not sure how I feel about the florals. Mind you, again, my fingers were starting to go numb, and I did a lot of mistakes here. So then the next palette we did, and you got to remember too that the water was getting kind of murky. Was there another one? I think there was, and I didn't mark it. There's one. That's the last one, though. Where's the other one? Where's the landscape one? Did I not do the landscape? Yes, I did. That's a landscape. Okay, where did I not do the forest? I know I did. Did I not? Looks like I did. You guys, I'm telling you. That was the essentials. I think it was right behind. Yeah. There's the forest. Okay. And I could see mixing these colors would make that. Okay. Let's look at the floral one for a second here. You would think the floral would match that, but actually I could get those colors to match that more than I could make those florals. Okay. And then, of course, the final one was the landscape. And I really do like these colors. They're elementary, but I like them. So that's... My favorite was the autumn. And that's about it, you guys. So that was my favorite one. Right there. Thank you for joining me for my second video today. It's been a long one. And now I'm going to phone my daughter, and she's going to be worried. But I did it in the name of art. And procrastination. Remember, guys, we are all perfectly imperfect. I hope this brought a smile to your face today, brought some peace and light and love. Remember that you are loved, needed and wanted far, far more than you will ever know. Whatever is troubling you, I wish that a warm blanket comes over you and helps you. And as, I don't know, woo-woo as that sounds, I truly do honestly mean it. It's a hard world we're living in right now. I will see you next time. Please take care of yourself. Have something warm, do some art, and take a night off responsibilities and adulting. You've earned it. I will talk to you next time. Bye for now, everyone.